tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to Platinum Explosion, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Bill Black. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hopley.
How you doing? Excited to be here. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Do PlayStation know it's Christmas time at all?
They will, because I'm sure they'll have a sale for... Actually, no. It's usually a New Year's sale.
It's just an end of year sale.
Yeah. They don't do a Christmas sale.
Yeah. Don't offend anybody. PlayStation continuing the war on Christmas.
So I have this shirt I've been wearing at work, right? It says Hoppy Holidays. That was a kangaroo, right? It says Hoppy Holidays and it's a kangaroo, and that's a joke. And someone the other day did say, "What? Oh, Hoppy Holidays. You can't say Merry Christmas."
It's a pun.
I was like, it's a pun though. Like
It's
I
a
don't know
joke.
what. Like, calm down.
The show that says Merry Christmas is pretty boring.
Like, that's how everyone's like, oh, the people who say Happy Holidays are so offended by Merry Christmas. But this motherfucker's like, oh, your shirt that said Happy Holidays has upset me so much. Like, fuck off, idiot. Anyway. Welcome to our last recorded podcast of 2021. In case you missed it, this past Monday's episode of Arcade Couch was it was recorded like several months ago. It is worth listening to, so go check that out if you haven't already. It is our director's extended cut, whatever I called it, I can't remember, of the PAX 2021 online or whatever they called it.
PAX Radio.
PAX Radio, sponsored by Audio Technica. That thing. So it had to be under an hour for the original one we put up during the show. And it was, I think the one I submitted, I was looking at the file the other day, it was like 59 minutes, 23 seconds or something. And then the one that's on the feed now, it's like hour and a half. So there's like, there's literally like
50% more content. 50% more bad jokes and
for free.
mention of podcasts. Every time we bring up a podcast on that podcast, you need to take a shot. You'll be dead. That's one way to get through Christmas.
It's true, actually. Between all of our podcasts and everyone else's podcasts, you'll probably die. So yeah, that's that. And then today we will be covering a few PlayStation stories and a couple other gaming stories that have happened. But obviously it's the end of the year. There's not that much happening. Although PlayStation did save one big reveal within the past week.
Yeah.
Kinda, I guess I don't know. And at the end of the show, I just want to go over some quick, surface level hope dreams, things you would love to see change PlayStation. Console, them as a company, I don't know, what game you'd like to see announced. I don't know, whatever you can think of. I'm not going to spend like an hour on it, just something. For 2022. But first, PlayStation blog, Game of the Year 2021 winners. So this is all fan voted by polls on the PlayStation blog. They've got a bunch of weird categories. Obviously, they got a Game of the Year, but that's the the main one. But let's run from. See what the PlayStation audience, the PlayStation Nation, has decided.
People who still use blogs.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do. I checked the PlayStation blog. Best new character. The winner was Lady Demis. I can never remember how to say it. Demiscrew.
Tall lady.
Vampire lady. Tall vampire lady. She has won Best New Character. The runner-ups were Gold Trophy for Rivet, Silver Trophy for Tenzo from Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, and a Bronze Trophy for Alex Chen from Life is Strange True Colors. I think that's fair.
I think it makes sense. Obviously she captured the imagination. Do you reckon they're going to try and like cash in on this? Like, let's make a game featuring her.
Well, I know they're doing DLC, but I don't. If they
like their own spin-off game.
I'd play it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's like the most best part of that game. So,
do a prequel.
Yeah. I mean, you could technically, without spoilers. There is a lot of stuff that's set up about her character. So, best story. Continuing, Resident Evil Village gets the Platinum Trophy. Gold Trophy went to Life is Strange True Colors. Silver Trophy went to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. And the Bronze Trophy went to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Not sure about this one.
Yeah, this seems surprising, although I haven't played the game, so. But I don't think Resident Evil was up for Best Narrative at the Game Awards.
No. So that automatically
Even
voids
so.
this. No, I mean Resident Evil Village's story is utter nonsense. Like it serves its purpose, but come on.
I mean, utter nonsense doesn't necessarily mean bad, you know. It Takes Two story is kind of utter nonsense, but you know that's great. Love that.
Yeah, I know. Shouldn't you be arguing that Marvel's Guardians? You love Guardian that story, so
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah, it's great. Should have won.
Best art direction: Platinum went to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Gold trophy went to Little Nightmares 2. Silver trophy It Takes Two, and bronze trophy Hades. All right. Hey.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's crazy that Hades apparently is eligible and didn't win everything, but surprising. Little Nightmares 2, I think, is, you know, one, a lot of people must have played it, I guess. Or really like looking at the screenshots.
Well, I don't know if could people writing games for this, or was they like predetermined by the?
I think it was predetermined
by PlayStation.
From memory.
Yeah. So, I guess that's nice. Yeah, but Hades, I guess, is eligible because anything new on PlayStation. On PS5, so yeah. Best soundtrack: Platinum went to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. The gold went to Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island expansion. Silver, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, and bronze, Near Replicant version 1.22474487139. And I'll never not make sure to say the entire thing.
I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that the one original game got the best original score soundtrack.
That's true. The rest are DLC or remakes. Good job. Yeah, I don't know. Like the rest are remakes. Yeah, it's weird. Best multiplayer experience. Platinum went to It Takes Two. Gold went to Call of Duty Vanguard. Silver went to Battlefield 2042. And the bronze went to Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. Kieran won't be very pleased by this. Platinum makes perfect sense. I don't know how the fuck Battlefield got silver, but
because it is a shooter. That's it.
But anyway, just
what? Because you hate that game?
I just think it was just so buggy. I just like sure if that's what you like playing, but yeah. Platinum.
I would argue Endwalker should have been higher, but I feel like a lot of the Endwalker fanboys are like PC nerds.
Yeah, like you. Best sports game. FIFA 22 got the platinum. The gold went to Hot Wheels Unleashed. Silver went to Riders Republic, and bronze went to NBA 2K22. Doesn't FIFA just win this every year? No. Yeah.
Probably. I mean, it's a fan voted thing. FIFA's the biggest sporting game in the world. Makes sense.
I'm glad to see Hot Wheels Unleashed got gold though.
Yeah, that's surprising.
It's pretty cool. Game's
Knockout City robbed of the spot.
Well, yeah, Knockout City should have been in here, or multiplayer or something. Surely, come on. But I'm glad to see Hot Wheels in there. That's good. Best accessibility features: Platinum went to Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Gold went to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Silver went to Far Cry 6. Bronze went to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't really have any comments on these because I don't use it. This is the other thing I find. So in the last couple of years, all these like places have started doing accessibility awards, but they're all like, but then everyone starts talking about them like, you know, like what do I have to say about accessibility award features? I don't use them, you know?
Yeah.
So why the fuck do I like, but
how can I judge?
Yeah, but it's like an open poll, best accessibility features, and you've probably got like however many percentage of people voting for this that don't actually use them. They're like, oh, this one has the best or whatever, you know. It's the same as the Game Awards one. Like, oh, best accessibility features, and it's like an open thing. But I'm like, shouldn't it really only be people who use them? Should be,
or like give like an explainer as to why, you know,
yeah,
why each one should be eligible.
Best use of DualSense. Platinum went to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Gold went to Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Silver went to Returnal. Bronze went to Resident Evil Village. I would say Returnal is my pick for best use of DualSense IMO. Personally. I know Ratchet & Clank's good, but I would say Returnal's, and maybe this is just because more people played Ratchet & Clank, I guess. More people probably voted for that. But Returnal, between the adaptive triggers, the rain pitter-patter noise, plus the vibration, like, that game, like, yeah, I feel like that would be my pick, but yeah. And I don't remember Resident Evil Village's uses at all, so there's that. Best graphical showcase. Platinum went to Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Gold went to Resident Evil Village. Silver went to Far Cry 6. Bronze went to Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Adds up. Best re-release. Platinum went to Ghost of Tsushima Directors. I love how this is a award too. Best re-release is a fucking. Platinum went to Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Gold went to Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Silver went to Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Can't believe that came out this year. Bronze went to Nier Replicant version 1.22474487139. There's a lot of remakes and re-releases this year. This cannot be award every year. Surely there is not that many things. Surely. I don't know. Anyway, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Yep, good shit.
I mean, I'm sure there is.
Probably.
Death Stranding also, Rob. They came out this year, right?
That's true. Death Stranding did come out this year. Independent Game of the Year. Platinum went to Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Gold went to Hades. Silver went to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Bronze went to Disco Elysium, the final cut. He's shaking your head about Hades.
Hades. How do you put Kenna over Hades?
Maybe a lot of people already played it, so I was like, less.
Yeah, I assume that's what it is, but yeah. They're on the same sheet. You go, which one is better?
I mean, I would have voted for Hades. I didn't vote for any of these awards, though.
No.
Best VR Game of the Year. Apparently there was enough release for PSVR this year that you could have a poll. Platinum went to Hitman 3.
I think there was only 5 options.
Gold went to Doom 3 VR Edition. Silver went to Sniper Elite VR. Bronze went to I Expect You to Die 2. I haven't played any of these. Cool. PS4 Game of the Year. Platinum, Resident Evil Village. Gold, It Takes Two. Silver, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Bronze, Far Cry 6. I forget that's, yep. PlayStation 4 is a thing I guess people still have to play because the PS5 is like gold. PS5 Game of the Year. Platinum, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Gold, Resident Evil Village. Silver, Returnal. Bronze, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Glad to see Returnal getting up there.
Yeah, love.
Good shit. Most anticipated game of 2022 and beyond. These are dumb awards, but whatever. Platinum, Marvel Spider-Man. This is why I hate these things. Marvel Spider-Man 2. Gold.
Yeah, suck it, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Silver, Horizon Forbidden West. Bronze, Hogwarts Legacy. The reason I hate these awards is because it's just so like most anticipated. See how they have to add the like asterisks almost of and beyond. Like the award's supposed to be most anticipated game of 2022. But they're like, fuck, like we want to put Spider-Man shit in there, so let's add and beyond, so we're covered through to when Spider-Man probably releases in like 2024.
Well, that and every single game gets delayed now, so I mean,
yeah, but I mean, like Horizon,
that might be scheduled for next year.
Horizon's supposed to be next year. Hogwarts Legacy is supposed to be next year. God of War's next year, right? So like, off the top of my head, Elden Ring's next year. Everything in this list, other than Spider-Man, has apparently coming out next year. Studio of the Year. Platinum, Insomniac Games. Gold, Square Enix. Silver, Capcom. Bronze, Bandai Namco. Imagine if like a Activision studio had been won an award here. I think the PS Blog PlayStation Nation would have been cancelled.
I don't think they care.
Most people, I love how someone in the comments, most anticipated game, Siphon Filter Remake. People just make up the rules to these things now. My most anticipated game could be a game that hasn't been announced. Sure. Whatever, dude. Sucker Punch should have won Best Studio, at least gotten second place in my opinion. Why?
Log in and reply.
Why? Just reply. Why? Well, there's your PS Blog winners for this year.
Yeah.
Good job, Ratchet & Clank, which I think won nearly everything.
And if you want to see the Explosion Network's best games of 2021, find them at explosionnetwork.com starting insert date.
Insert date is the 2nd. January 2nd is when they start. Through till January 8th.
explosionnetwork.com/best of 2021.
There you go. Alright, so the big thing that happened last week is faceplates, of course. So, Press Start writes, we've all been waiting ever since the PS5 release, but Sony has officially confirmed that it's releasing official PS5 faceplates in the form of console covers, the term Sony seems to be going with. This comes after a patent was recently filed. Initially, Sony will release Midnight Black, Cosmic Red faceplates in January to match the previously released DualSense controller colors. That will cost $55 USD, roughly 77 Australian dollars, which puts them a tiny bit cheaper than the D brand ones. And these ones have official PlayStation logo cut out. Sony has also announced Nova Pink, Starlight Blue, and Galactic Purple DualSense controllers, as well as matching PS5 faceplates. The controllers were also released in January 2022, whilst the faceplates in these particular cars were released in the first half of 2022. Whoa! I guess. I don't know. How do you feel about faceplates? Are we like, do you reckon you'll get one? Do you care to get one?
No.
No.
I don't think mine get dusty enough to go, oh, I need to change the color. Or I look at it enough.
Yeah, I was going to say, my simple thing is I just don't care enough. Because, like, I don't, like, it just sits there, you know? Like, I don't really...
It's like being upset that you don't like the color of your DVD player.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really care what it looks like. I understand to a degree, maybe for people who have like very nice looking lounge rooms and they have like a very minimalistic like design, and because of the big bulky shape of the PlayStation, maybe they at that stage want to make sure like, that it matches everything because it's like a part of a room.
These people with their fancy setup with the LED lights along the background and like all these specially figures and color coordinated shit. Those people will be happy, I assume.
Yeah, I assume they're going to be happy. However, for me, I don't give a fuck.
Let me guess, you're most happy about a purple DualSense.
I've already ordered a purple DualSense. Because at least that's in my hands, you know what I mean? Like I look at that. I look at that. I use it. It's, you know, that's something I can get behind. But,
you can go, yes, it's purple.
But plates, not particularly getting excited about. Although, will I end up buying one? I don't know. Maybe just because so I can talk about it. I don't know.
I mean, I think they dropped the ball not releasing these before Christmas. Is the only thing.
Stocking fillers. Have a plastic plate.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, excited, Jimmy? Listen, I couldn't get your PS5 this Christmas, but enjoy these faceplates. You can put it on the side of a box and you can pretend you have an actual PlayStation.
Put on
you
top
can
of
put
your
these
PS4.
on the side of your PS4 and you can pretend you got a PS5.
Boot up Horizon when it comes out in February. Just pretend it's a PS5 version you're playing. But buggy.
Incredible.
Good shit.
Shout out to any modders out there who will mod a PS4 to look like a PS5.
Sure, someone will.
And then sell it. And then see if someone falls.
I will not be surprised if that happens, to be honest. Yeah. Faceplates.
Yeah.
Big end of the year announcement. Sony, good job.
I mean, it's good that it's cheaper than the place that was selling them. That's a good thing. It's like, because if they were charging more than they were selling it for, I think there would have been a lot more backlash.
And you'll be able to get them in stores and not have to order up some random website online and wait like 10 years to get them shipped from America or whatever.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And hopefully this means, you know, but there's potential for cooler stuff down the line.
Like licensed stuff, you mean? Or
the licensed stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Spider-Man, faceplate, yo. You'd buy that then, wouldn't you?
Like limited edition stuff. Like imagine if there was only like a very limited quantity of certain faceplates that you could buy, and like they would potentially be worth a lot of money in the future. Because there's natural scarcity there.
Because I really need scalpers buying fucking faceplates on top of scalpers buying the consoles. Come on. PlayStation Lifestyle writes, Square Enix files trademark for long forgotten 90s platformer Gex. As spotted by Gamatsu. Didn't they change their name? No. Am I saying? No. That was a different place.
You're thinking of Gamer Sutra.
Okay. The application was filed on December 15th per the European Union Intellectual Property Office's website, with Square Enix listed as the owner. Gex was previously owned by Eidos Interactive, which became parent company of Crystal Dynamics in 1998. When Eidos Interactive became a Square Enix property in 2009, Gex came with it. The first game in the series was released in 1995 on the PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, 3DO, and Windows. The second and third games released in 1998 and 1999, respectively. According to folks over at Unseen64, a fourth entry was in development for PlayStation 2, but was later cancelled. Only 2 pieces of concept art were ever seen of the cancelled title, and the last thing ever released in the franchise was a book in 2000. Then, in 2017, Square Enix made a series of IDOS properties available as part of Square Enix Collective, a program allowing developers to create games based on old IPs. Gex was part of the collection. It's unclear if Square Enix is merely renewing its ownership of the trademark, or if someone ended up making a new Gex game. We'll find out in due course. This is one of those like weird stories that I saw everyone who like played 90s platformers, like very specific, I guess, age platform group or whatever. And I was like, fuck yeah, Gex is coming back. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Gex. I like add it to a list of games that I've never finished, because I used to like never finish any games as a kid because I'd get like too hard in the later ends or whatever. But yeah, fuck yeah, Gex. Have you ever seen Gex? Know about Gex?
I do remember Gex. I don't think I ever played it, but
man, Enter the Gecko. Let me bring up some gameplay of this bad boy for viewers at home. Look at this shit right here. This motherfucking lizard jumping around, doing battles, wears sunglasses and shit. He's on secret mission. How can you not want another one of these?
Give us the hard reboot that we all want.
This game looks terrible right now.
Hard, dark, gritty reboot. Fuck James Bond from from IO. Give us Gex. That's the spy we want.
That's the treat.
I think this. Yeah, I think this is potentially something. It wouldn't surprise me. Obviously, that Square Collective is like, hey, we've got all these IPs. Any indie devs want to come in and use any of these IPs that we have no interest in doing ourselves? I wouldn't be surprised if someone's like, Gex is kind of that, is in that wheelhouse of like weird IPs that people have like a fondness for, but are not necessarily great games.
No, it's like something that a lot, like a group of people would happily pay for, but you wouldn't want to spend a bunch of money on the game because you're not going to have enough. You're not going to have that much interest, but you know.
It's in that weird gray area where it's like people would be keen for a new game, but they wouldn't really be keen for a remaster of the originals. I don't think. No,
because they would look terrible. You'd have to do like full remakes. So
yeah.
Continuing on this train though, Sony Interactive Entertainment has refiled a trademark application for Ready at Dawn's The Order 1886, fueling all kinds of speculations online, but it probably doesn't mean anything, writes PlayStation Lifestyle. First spotted
we
by...
now cross to number one The Order fan, Zach Jansen from Roleplay.
He'll be very happy about this. First spotted by Gamatsu. The fresh application was filed on December 9th, but as pointed out by Twitter user Jake A. Game in the replies, the original trademark expired on the 3rd of December, so we're assuming Sony is simply hanging on to the title a little bit longer. One can argue that Sony has something planned for the Order 1886, and hence it chose not to abandon the trademark, but again, companies often hang on to dormant properties, so as much as I personally want a sequel, it doesn't look like anything is happening, not anytime soon anyway. I'm going to side with that as well. I'm going to say they just renewed it. Doesn't really mean anything. I would happily take a sequel though. I just want to I don't know if I've put that energy out there, but I would get excited about a sequel to The Order 1886. I just don't think it's happening. And you haven't played this game, have you?
No, I haven't, but again, that's kind of a potential franchise that a second entry could help that like hit more people.
It's so weird because,
and like you said, it's got that cult following. It was the original PS4 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like launch game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm sure between now and then, like almost everybody's kind of played it. It's kind of a filtered through. I think probably the shortness of the game kind of helps people like, oh, it's a short game, I'll give it a go.
That's why a lot of people don't want to buy it at launch because of the whole, I'm not paying $100 for a 4 to 6 hour game, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Interesting how the conversation around that has not changed and also changed. Has changed and not changed, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
I want one because the world's really cool. Most people complain because it was like it was overpriced, or people complain about the whole the choice Ready at Dawn did with the whole we're leaving it locked at 30 frames or whatever because we want this, or 24 frames because we want this cinematic feel, and everyone was like, it's a video game, we need 60 and all, and then
why you can't tell the difference,
and then all this other stuff. But the world is really cool. The characters were cool. By the end of the game, it basically sets up the main character to be fucking Batman in London, but in 1887 or whatever. I need the game to happen because we've had so many memes on this podcast over the last however long we've been doing it. Back when
we need the prequel game, yeah.
Back when Nick was on here, yeah. Order 1885. 1881, yeah. What a fool. Kotaku writes, Hades, talking about Hades before. Hades wins a Hugo Award, making it history as the first video game to ever do so. Yesterday, Hades made history by becoming the first video game to win a Hugo Award, an annual literary award presented to the best science fiction or fantasy works from the previous year. Hades was developed by Supergiant Games, released after a period in early access last year. Supergiant's creative director Greg Kasvin tweeted his reaction to Hades winning the historic award, stating that although he wasn't able to make it to the award ceremony, he was grateful that the Hugo Awards are recognizing work in this category, much like the work that we did. The other games that were nominated by the Hugo Awards this year were Spiritfarer, The Last of Us 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Baseball. Normally video games aren't nominated for the award, however this year a new category was introduced for video games. This follows years of conversations amongst the governing members behind the prestigious and long-running Hugo Awards. The new category is only, at least for now, a one-off thing, but it could continue in the future. In recent years, the Hugo Awards have continued to expand beyond traditional literature works and authors. Past new categories added to the prestigious awards include Best Fanzine or Best Fan Cast, an award honoring great sci-fi and fantasy focused podcasts and video series. It's likely that as gaming becomes more popular, continues to tell bigger, better stories involving sci-fi or fantasy, the Hugo Awards will look to add a more permanent award category for video games. So there you go. I mean, I don't see why it's not a category they shouldn't continue to have there, considering game stories are big, massive things now. It's fucking fly in my room, by the way. What the hell is that? Where'd that come from? Am I gonna die soon? But Hades will be on the Wikipedia page as, you know, the what do you call it? The first, but the other word.
First.
The honorary inaugural. There you go. Inaugural winner of the Hugo Awards winner. So
yeah, I mean, it's interesting when you look at the Hugo Awards and it like best movie or TV show is not on the list, but yet best game or interactive experience is like on the list. It's kind of interesting. When, you know, Hugo Awards, you think that, yeah, that's the best sci-fi or fantasy of the year. So yeah, it's cool.
That's cool. Press Start writes, Final Fantasy VII Remake PlayStation Plus Edition owners will soon be able to upgrade to the PS5 version. Shannon writes, PlayStation 7 Remake was a PlayStation Plus game earlier this year, just before the PS5 version released alongside with a free upgrade to those who purchased the game on PS4. If you're confused, hold on. Unfortunately, those that redeemed PlayStation Plus version of the game had no upgrade path, having to pay full price for the game on PS5. That is until now. Square Enix has announced that those that redeem the PlayStation Plus version of the game earlier this year will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version, presumably for free, starting on Wednesday. Once you've upgraded to the PS5 version, you'll then be able to get the PS5 exclusive Yuffie DLC at $25 off for a limited time. So that's good, because that was a dumb fucking thing that happened early in the year, where it was like, here's a PlayStation Plus game, and if you get it, you don't actually, you can't actually upgrade this one. It's like the opposite of the Godfall thing, nearly. It was weird. Remember?
I mean, it's only weird because there's no way for you to actually buy the original game to make it eligible for you to get the DLC.
You have to buy the whole thing, fresh.
No, there's like no way you can buy the digital version in full to become eligible to have bought the DLC.
Yeah, no, you have to buy the full, like, integrated, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I understand what you mean now.
Yeah. Whatever it's called.
I mean, it's fine, you know.
Interlude thing.
I mean, I can understand where their point was. It's like, hey, we gave this only this part of the game away for free. Now you want this extra part for, like, no money? But I don't know. Yeah, it's like, Who knows? Money. Apparently, games aren't worth anything. So
No, they should all be free. I reckon they should all be free.
yeah.
Sifu, a bunch of Sifu previews came out last week, so I wanted to highlight this part from a dual. So, from everything I've seen, everyone's speaking very positive of it, saying it looks really good. But obviously, one of the key things I've had is like, I'm excited for this game. I just hope that the combat isn't like super built around fighting games, much like Absolver was, because that's what sort of made that game hard for me. I found in this DualShockers preview, read you this part. Speaking of, Sifu is first and foremost a fighting game, so it is of course key that gameplay and combat feel fluid and powerful. Although the preview build I was given was only a very small portion of the game, the combat was some of the most addicting I've ever experienced in a video game. I'm not exactly an expert at fighting games. Give me 5 minutes from Mortal Kombat and I'd probably throw the controller through the TV in frustration. But Sifu is able to reward you, pulling off slick combos whilst appealing to the button mashers out there. I didn't feel like I was forced to remember what buttons to press, as I was still able to take on multiple enemies at once with a little bit of luck, excitement, and a good old button mashing. It's not always about hand-to-hand combat either. Players can use the environment to their advantage when taking on multiple opponents, whether it's a glass bottle at the bar, a chair, or a baseball bat. Weapons and the environment will become your best friend in avoiding death. But I will admit I rarely felt frustrated when I did die, partly due to the fluent animations and clean head kicks that always KO'd me were satisfying to watch, but mainly due to the fact that death actually offered a purpose in Sifu. So there you go. That's good to hear that the button mashes, and if you don't have to learn, up, down, circle, square, up, down, circle, plus, whatever.
So this moved it up your most anticipated list of 2022?
I would still say it just sits at the same place, but I'm just like hearing this.
More optimistic.
I'm just a bit more optimistic that I can get into it now because, yeah, like that's fine. Like if it's simple action game stuff where I can just master a parry and some light combo stuff, fine. And I just struggle.
You don't want to put in a 16 button combo.
Yeah, I just can't remember all these different combos and stuff that fighting games have, which is what Absolver had. Like that game was like, block and then press up, down, circle, left, right, square, circle.
No, it was like a card based system thing.
Yeah, and the cards had fucking moves.
Yeah, you had to be in a specific position.
And you had to switch your fucking stance and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, it was a lot. It was too much for me. So that's what I was worried about. But this does sound good. They explain a little bit here in this next paragraph too about the aging stuff out of interest for anyone. The game has a unique aging mechanic that revolves around self-improvement, which the developers state is, quote, part of the journey. When you die in Sifu, an ancient pendant gives you the ability to be resurrected, but at the cost of being aged by a certain amount of years. Before you resurrect, you're also given the opportunity to spend your experience point on new skills, meaning a challenging situation can actually become easier in death. There are both positives and negatives to dying in Sifu, though. You may be able to unlock new skills and tackle fights from different angles, but you also return with less and less health each time. Eventually, you'll turn into a true master with all the skills needed, but little amount of health to battle with. Once you hit a certain age, the ancient pendant will save you no more, and your final death will mean restarting your mission all over again. So that is the balance. You die, you learn more, get more skills, whatever, but you get less health. So I guess it's a per mission thing too. So you don't play because, you mustn't play the game.
Well, they only played a very small portion as well, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I go. Because it's like, imagine first mission, you die like a million times. You fucking fully old man. That's it, and then you load
next mission. You become a baby again.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, how's that work? So there are still some few questions, but yeah, most word on Sifu is very good, positive. Good. So how's all this make you feel? Any of that
very optimistic about the game. So yeah, it's one of my most anticipated next year. So it's good to hear that there's so much positive news from a lot of varied sources as well. It's not just one or two people who are very excited. Like a lot of the people who've played it are very happy with how it looks and how it plays. So
yeah. Yeah, I didn't pull that DualShockers one because it was the only good one. It was just they had that paragraph.
They had a paragraph.
They had a paragraph that fit with my narrative.
That spoke to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's something to think about going into your holidays, everyone. PSN trophy data suggests the majority of Returnal players didn't finish the game, but that's hardly surprising, writes PlayStation Lifestyle. Over the weekend, Video Game Stats and Metacritic website How Long to Beat published its annual year in review list for 2021, revealing that Capcom's Resident Evil Village was one of the most completed games this year. One of the lists suggested that based on user-submitted data, Housemarque's Returnal was one of the least finished, most retired games this year. The later caused quite a bit of a stir, because it simply took into account the total amount of people who dropped the game prior to finishing it, which means that popular games would understandably have a higher number of people quitting before finishing. Nevertheless, Returnal being on the list spurred numerous headlines and kickstarted a debate, prompting How Long to Beat to release another list of least played games that considered the percentage of players who dropped the game after starting it. However, PlayStation Network data suggests that a vast majority of Returnal players did not in fact see the campaign through to the end. According to PSN trophy data, only 30.3% of Returnal players finished Act 1, approximately 23% finished Act 2, and about 10% finished Act 3. Even if we assume that a number of players didn't sync trophy data, it wouldn't make a huge difference. These stats shouldn't be too surprising. While single-player games tend to have the high completion rates, see Last of Us Part 2 and God of War, Returnal's difficulty coupled with the absence of a save option threw a lot of people off. Housemarque did end up, of course, introducing a suspend point feature, so that's worth taking into thing. But come on, if you're out there and you haven't finished Returnal, what are you doing on your holiday break? I reckon you jump back into Returnal, see that shit through to the end, then once you beat it once, time to start it all over again to get the true ending, baby. Gotta go through, gotta find all the secret things, gotta get that true ending, gotta get all the trophies. What are you doing, you know? But 10% not finished, 10% of players finishing a game is like, it's crazy because it would be like, I just often wonder when you hear these stats, right? So imagine if like someone who makes who like made a movie, right? Spielberg hears like 10% of people didn't finish West Side Story. He'd be like, the fuck? Or like only 10% sat in the theater to the end of West Side Story. It'd be like, what? Like, you're telling me that's crazy. That's insane. TV shows, I guess, maybe it's a little bit similar where it's like, only X amount of people finished this show on Netflix through to episode 8 after starting. I wish Netflix released those numbers. They would be interesting, you know, like say, like Cowboy Bebop, for instance, right? So I only watched 2 episodes. So I would love to see stats where it's something similar. It's like X amount of people who started Cowboy Bebop didn't actually watch it through all the way to episode 8 or 10 or whatever it is, you know? They would be some interesting numbers for Netflix series. But we get them from games because of trophy and achievement data to a degree, which is always interesting. But yeah, game developers spend so much time on these, you know, this epic boss fight and whatever else, the last few levels of Act 3 and all this sort of stuff. And only 10% of people saw that. Other than if they looked it up on a YouTube video, I guess, which, you know, could be a thing. But that's insane. You know? Crazy.
I mean, yeah. It's funny looking at this, how long to beat most retired games of 2021. Do you want to guess what the most retired?
I've seen it, so yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I was about to say, do you want to read through the list from bottom to top?
So they put out 2 lists. So the first list is takes into account the total number of people who dropped the game without finishing it. So number 10, Biomutant. Number 9, Cyber Shadow. Number 8, Back for Blood. Number 7, Oddworld, Soulstorm. Number 6, Returnal. Number 5, The Medium. Number 4, Outriders. Number 3, The Ascent. Number 2, Loop Hero. Number 1, 12 minutes. Interesting.
I think because people got stuck. I don't think it's anything to do with the story because, like, without spoiling it for people, because it just released on PlayStation, by the way, if you do actually want to play 12 minutes.
Oh, interesting.
And I mean, I did give it a 7, so I still think, like, I don't like where the story ends up going by the end, and that's sort of one of the major criticisms. I think the gameplay design, like the puzzle design, is good. That's sort of why it's worth checking out that game. But I'd say the reason a lot of people dropped it is because they got sick very quickly of the puzzles, I guess. You know? Because it is, you literally have to do the same shit over and over and over. So I can understand maybe why people found it tedious. Imagine how I felt playing that without a fucking guide to look up what to do, playing it before fucking embargo or whatever. Yeah. You got the second list?
Yeah, so this is most retired games by percentage played. So 7% finished retired Omno, 7.6% retired Outriders, 7.7% retired Sables, 7.8 retired Chris Tales, 8.1 retired Binding, 8.5 retired Cyber Shadow, 9.2% Oddworld Soulstorm, 9.3 Genesis Noir, 10% The Ascent, and 11.1% Loop Hero.
I mean, the Loop Hero thing, I guess, makes sense to a degree, because
that does.
That's a hard, like, roadie type game or whatever, isn't it? So it's...
Yeah. I'm sure people, like, kind of got their fill and stopped.
Yeah.
I think the most surprising thing to me is that they're so low that, like, it's only 10% of people who don't finish the game.
I guess...
Again, this is... this is based on people who use that website and
Yes.
provide information to that website. So
Yes.
it's skewed.
It is.
To,
well, at least
it's not casual fans.
It's skewed to the people who care about tracking that sort of stuff. So at least it's the...
Yes.
But also, a lot of the times, people using How Long to Beat are people who want to finish games so they can tick it off their profile and say, I've finished this, I've beat it 100%, etc., etc., etc. So it is like skewed to an audience that cares about finishing games most of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But it's interesting for stuff like Omno, where it's like, that's not a particularly long game. People dropped it, so. Chris Tales, long game. So I guess that's why. Stuff like that. Biomutant, people probably got sick of it. Yeah. Oddworld, people just got sick of the I guarantee that was PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Give it a go. Fuck yeah, let's go. Start up the game. And then like a level 2 in, they're like, I don't like this gameplay. Like this is like the puzzles are frustrating, you know, like the stealth sections are annoying. I reckon that's what you can sort of pick what. But like, yeah, let's give it a go. Oh wait, I remember why I don't like this sort of thing. Yeah. So that's an interesting list. Where the fuck was I before we got there? Blah 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 blah. No, that's it. Those are the news stories for this week. So yeah, just I know I've got a list of a couple dot points here of things, PS5 features that I'd like. I went with stuff I just love in general, just overarching things. I got a couple features here that I'm going to put out into the world now. PlayStation to do in 2022. So I've got a couple features. I've got a general Sony thing, and then a couple I guess there are a couple general Sony things and a couple PS5 features. I'm going to put them out into the world now in our final Platinum Explosion episode, and maybe my dreams will come true. I'm asking Santa Claus, Shuhei Christmas to make my dreams come true. Number one thing I would like to see PS5 get fixed next year. I just want the trophy. I want the trophy tracking for collectibles and kills to be better implemented. I'm still getting really annoyed when a game releases and there is a PS5 version or whatever of it, and you know it'll have a trophy that says X amount of kills, like get 50 kills with this gun, or like get this many collectibles or whatever. And we have the ability now, but it's not integrated into the game because developers haven't done it or whatever, I guess, or whatever has to be done, where it doesn't track that shit on the trophy level. Like you still have to look it up in the game, which is really annoying when they've recently implemented that thing for like trophy tracking on PS5, so you can pin trophies and track a certain couple, and you can easily access those and stuff like that. But it's like, well, yeah, all of that shit would be a lot more helpful if I'm looking for collectibles or trying to track how many kills I've got with a gun or something like that in the game. I can pin those trophies, but then those trophies aren't actually telling me how many out of how many I've got. So, come on, I need that shit fixed. Number 2, folders. Front end UI menu of PS5, create folders. Remember that was a thing we had on PS5? PS4? Folders?
It did take like 6 or 7 years for them to
I
get
hope
introduced, so.
to God it doesn't take that long for the PS5 to get it. But I think folders should make a comeback. PS5, you can put your multiplayer games on one thing. You can put like whatever you want to do. But folders, please. It's a thing we had and now we don't have. and I would like to have it back. Talking about things I want back. PS5 themes. I know Sony probably wants and thinks that they've got these big exciting way that your PS5 UI is designed that they can't do themes. You can't do it at the same. You can't make PS4 themes work on PS5. That's why you have to start from scratch and create brand new PS5 themes and do them exciting, make them fun. I never used PS4 themes. I didn't really care too much about them. I only changed it like maybe once a year sort of thing. But I still would like to just be able to put one on, every now and then. I wouldn't mind. Usually at Christmas time, I change my PS4 theme to like a Christmas one or something like that. I just want the option of some PS5 themes to go around.
How would that even work?
I don't know. That's a UI designer's job, not mine.
Like, no, but like the PS5 UI does not lend itself to themes.
If there's will, there's a way,
No, there isn't.
I guarantee I could sit there and like dream up how it would all work, but I just don't know how to implement it all. See how hard it would be. But I could so you press like the PS button and like your little menu pops up, and maybe if it was a Christmas one, had like a little Christmas border or something around it, and then you go back to the.
That's it. That's all. That you would be happy with that.
No, that's a start. You go back to the main menu. Maybe there's a little elf in the corner. He's like waving and dancing. Hey, you see these dogs in your front yard?
It seems pretty unnecessary.
I want it though. Number 3. No, 4. Discord. ASAP. Yep. Get that shit done in January as far as I'm concerned. We've been playing Halo recently, right? Jump into that game. Ash and Buddy, they're on PC. I'm on Xbox. Voice chat works fine. Don't need to use Discord or anything.
When I can unmute. Yeah.
When you can unmute. But otherwise, if you're trying to do a PlayStation game crossplay, y'all have to figure that shit out because there just isn't no easy way to do it. However, if we get into the world where the Discord is implemented directly into the PlayStation, and then if you're on PC, you can just open Discord, and it's like, obviously when you're playing on PC, open Discord, you're still using the same headphones. So like, it's not a big like 2 earpiece weird mic scenario thing going on, and then you can just open it up, and that's what we need. We just need Discord.
Or people wanting to stream straight for their PlayStation, be able to chat through Discord.
Yes.
So much easier.
Share screenshots from your PlayStation to a Discord group or chat, post social. Like there's no social features on the PS5. Not to say the PS4 social features were good. Like that whole activity card thing, no one cared about or used. However, imagine just being like integrating your Discord communities and building them through the PS5 and whatever else. That's the future. Make that happen. Get that done. January 1st, the better be here. All right, moving into stuff I just want Sony to do in 2022. More PS5 stock. Magically make it happen. I don't really know. Yep. I know this is like asking for something that just isn't going to happen. However, it would be silly not to sort of mention that. More PS5 stock.
If people can black market get PS5s, I'm pretty sure Sony can black market get chips.
They should buy them back.
Just pay extra.
Buy the Dysons.
Just go a little while at the loss.
Take the chips out. It's fine.
Take all the chips out of your smart fridges and stick them in your.
Yeah, they don't need them.
PS5s.
Yeah, damn right. More indie partnerships. Because that's sorely missing from PlayStation's current image, or whatever you want to call it, I guess. Yeah, just move a little bit back towards those PS4 heydays where you pushed a bunch of indies and you had stuff. At the moment, it's like, we're going to push one indie, and it's like something like Kenna, and then like we're all in on this game. But
obviously, you made Shuhei like head of indies or whatever, right?
What the fuck's he doing?
Give me a monthly show of Shuhei talking about indie games.
Shuhei State of Play.
Yeah, give me the Shuhei State of Play. So, okay, these are all these cool indies I checked out. Even if they're not exclusive to PlayStation.
No, and it's funny because he does that on Twitter nearly. Like a game release, and he'll be the one. Like the main Sony PlayStation account isn't hyping up these games, but like something releases like Chicory or whatever on PlayStation, even if it's on multiple other platforms, and he's like out there like retweeting it, being like, "Yeah, this, like check it out, blah blah blah," like retweeting reviews and all this sort of stuff. It's like, is this your job now, just to do it via your personal Twitter account, like to hype up your news?
We saw what's his name from Smash Brothers become like, okay, I think he should have his own talk show and stuff, like be his own internet celebrity kind of sense with his reveals and his personality, that kind of thing. Do the same thing with Shuhei. Yeah. Have him talk about indie games. Do that.
Talking about state of players, my last thing is more state of plays that are exciting and worth waking up for. Because so far, I cannot recall a state of play from this year that is worth remembering. I can remember Nintendo Directs. Bayonetta. I can remember, E3 shows or whatever from other companies. But as far as like Sony's state of play or Sony's press conference presence or whatever, last couple of years, non-existent. So make the state of plays more exciting, fix that shit up. We're past the point where it's like, oh, they're still working out how to do them. No. You're not even trying at this stage, I feel like. They're just like, you can surely see all the criticism and just choosing to ignore it. So, anyway, that's my list. Have you got anything that you would like to ask Santa Claus?
No, just some general ones. I think, like, spinning off your last one, it's like, give us at least one showcase central event. If it's not going to be E3, like, set up your own, this is the day, look forward to it all year. This is the day we're going to do big announcements, big future releases. Like, give us gamers something to look forward to. I think just general communication about stuff just needs to be improved. It's like just be clear about stuff. I know obviously they've been backtracking on a few things and like PS5 upgrades and that kind of stuff going forward. I would say cut the cord at some point. It's like, listen, or I think this year needs to be the year. It's like, listen, God of War, Horizon, they're the last PS4 games that we as PlayStation, Sony Studios is going to publish. It's all PS5 going forward. And yeah, just find a way to make more PS5s. Like, buy some Xboxes, smash them open, repurpose the chips.
I think that's fine. There's enough floating around.
Yeah. And just reveal all these games that obviously they said they've got like 50 different games they've got partnerships on and that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I just feel like when a Sony game comes out, right, you play it and it's really good and it's really exciting and you really enjoy it. And in general, I enjoy using my PlayStation, obviously. But I would say as far as excitement, like getting hype goes, Sony's like probably in last place at the moment over the last like 12 to 18 months, I guess. Or at least if you look at the years since the reveal of the new consoles, I'd say Sony's done the worst job at like sort of building up excitement for stuff. Now, that's not to say, look, the important asterisk is that they're releasing games and Xbox isn't, and that's like where they're winning, obviously. And that's the part that matters most because people are buying their games. But I'd say on a hype factor, I'd say they're last place. I'd say Xbox has had more hype moments and Nintendo's had more hype moments in the last 12 months than Sony.
I guess they haven't needed it, you know?
Well, they don't need them because they're making money and they don't care. But as like a as someone who, does podcasts or whatever else, like who needs like hype moments to be
Listen, I would really like PlayStation to make our job easier. Yeah. That's what I want in 2023.
Yeah.
Just give us a lot of talking points so we have something to talk about every single week. And if you could please not release any news Wednesday. Yeah. That would be really helpful.
Actually, let me relay all my asks. My number one ask is literally that. My number one ask is to have a nice steady dose of news on a weekly basis.
Just release all the news on the American Fridays So then we have enough time to think about it and cover it for the next week. Yeah.
Please and thank you. That would be great. Thank you very much. Final question. What are you more excited to play next year, Horizon or God of War?
Right now,
on the spot.
Horizon.
Oh.
Horizon.
Yeah, my answer is Horizon too. So that's fine. It's fine. Not that I don't care about God of War, but it's like, I guess maybe because Horizon basically
Also,
feels like it's
coming
around the corner. So
yeah, one, it's been longer, I think, since we played a Horizon game. Two, it looks like there's more improvements, I think. It looks like anyway. Also, it's coming sooner, so it's easier to be more hyped for it.
Exactly. All right. So I'll do it for the last episode of Platinum Explosion for 2021. Obviously, I think I said this last week again, but just to clarify, again, so you will not see another episode of Platinum for it's like 3 weeks, whatever. Anyway, mid-January.
A while.
The 19th of January is our next episode.
That's ages away, Dylan.
Will be coming out.
It's like a whole month.
Yeah, it is, I guess. Technically, yeah, as well. Yeah.
Why would you do this to our listeners anyway?
I mean, if you want to get on here and record some solo plats as bonus episodes to fill time, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want if you're that worried about it. If that's how you want to be, that is your choice. Otherwise, 19th of January. Let us know any comments, questions, or concerns you've had about the show throughout the year. What you'd like to see Platinum Explosion be in 2022. What you'd like to see Platinum PlayStation be in 2022. Answer all the questions. Do all the things. Either by tweeting at us or joining our Discord. Find all our Twitters, explosionoutlook.com/Twitter. Find our Discord, explosionoutlook.com/Discord. And if you liked this episode and thought it was a good show to listen to throughout the year, head on over to explosionoutlook.com/support, which will take you to our Ko-fi page where you can donate there and say, ho, 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 I've enjoyed podcasts from you. Here's a present of a donation of monetary value that goes towards bills. Because everyone thinks running a website is cheap. No, no, no.
Who are you doing an impersonation of?
I don't know.
Were you trying to be Santa? Or are you trying to be a random person who listens to a podcast and is donating? Because I have a feeling the person you're trying to impersonate is not in the demographic of people who listen to our podcast.
Oh! You would say that, wouldn't you, whippersnapper? What a moment in time. Let's just take a second to embrace that. Anyway, until next year, have a great holidays. Enjoy Christmas if you celebrate, and yeah, go play Returnal.
Or happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Oh, don't get all. Fucking calm down, everyone. Remember that every trophy counts.